Okay, so what time is it, Bo? It is time to stream. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so sorry, 1 second here as we just ensure that everyone out there in YouTube land can hear me because I've been there, I've done that before where it like didn't work. So, oh shoot, sorry guys, forgot to turn off the speakers. Okay, sorry, I keep on forgetting about this. Okay, just give me 1 second here as I make sure everything is working. Okay, so it looks like we are live for another SwishPOP and Friends internet stream. It's late night, it's Sunday, it's 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys are here to watch me talk about Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. So, once again, for everyone out there, maybe you might be new to the stream, I don't have the best setup currently. Cameras right here, computers right here. So sometimes to read comments and stuff like that, I've got to look over here and not look at the camera. So bear with me, but I'm here. I don't know if this will be a super long stream tonight, and I'll talk about that in a bit, but let's get to it right now. There's a couple topics I wanted to talk about tonight. And just 1 second, let me just get set up here for a second because I always mess this up. Okay, I think I want this, and where did my screen go? I'm going to do this. Okay, so let's get to it right away. Now, so big stuff happened this week in the world of G.I. Joe Classified, and unless you live under a rock, you know what I'm going to talk about. The thing is, so what I usually do in these streams is I usually discuss possibly news that happen in the world of G.I. Joe and Transformers. And also probably sometimes I go over the videos that I created this week and talk about them more in depth compared to the actual length of the video. And just ramble about it. You know, that's what I do. Now, the thing is, okay, so if you're new to the channel, we do here, it's called SwishPOP, and that's just my nickname that I go by within the collecting community. And basically, I collect Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. Now, right, it's funny because in the stream here, you'll see there's Star Wars stuff here. It's funny, I've kind of given up on Star Wars right now. Star Wars is not in a good place. So I need to redo this pegboard here and kind of organize things a bit better. But long story short, on the channel, we do with Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. Mainly, like, I mean, there's room for, I really love Generation 1 Transformers and the old stuff. Of course, we do a lot of news related to Transformer stuff. And as well, same thing, I like the vintage G.I. Joe stuff. And we do a lot of news related to, say, G.I. Joe Classified. That's what we're doing right now. That's what's grown the channel. And we'll talk about more about that later. Anyways, so what we'll do here. Hey, Sabertron Toys just found the channel. Hey, oh, just a second now. Sorry, I am. Thanks. Anyways, welcome aboard. Anyway, so what we'll do here is, see, I got too many windows open. Let's talk about, so once again, we kind of bounce back and forth between G.I. Joe and Transformer stuff. And like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, I don't necessarily do like half G.I. Joe up front and then Transformers in the back end. It's like kind of bounce back and forth. I do think Transformers and G.I. Joe are fairly well linked. So I don't think it's crazy out there to think that many G.I. Joe collectors collect Transformers and many Transformers collectors collect G.I. Joe. I think that's fairly standard. Anyways, that's my stick. So bear with me. Anyways, so let's get into it. And I tried something new here now. Just give me 1 second here. 1 second. Hopefully this works. And if it doesn't work, you let me know in the chat. If I go over here, I display images, boom. So we still should have audio. And because I messed this up 1 week. And we're going to talk about the G.I. Joe Classified HasLab. And just one second, I'm just trying to make sure we're still good. Long story short, the HasLab, obviously, just one second. Okay, we should be good. Okay, so the HasLab was revealed this week, and to no surprise, it was a Snowcat. Sorry, yes, Generation 1 is the best. 1986 movie is the best movie. I do really enjoy that 1986 movie. I obviously grew up on it. It is amazing. I haven't watched it in a while. I actually probably should watch it with my kids. I don't think they've seen it before. Normally it's in the background here. Oh, I actually have it right here. The 4K version of it or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, I haven't watched that version of it lately, but I'll get to it. Good movie. Generation 1 rocks too. Okay, so back to HasLab. Oh, welcome aboard, Mark. So HasLab. Like, the thing is, no, that was not a surprise to anyone, I don't think. I think we all knew that was coming. They dropped so many hints and so many teases or whatever. And I think generally overall, it is a solid HasLab. And the thing is, as of right now, I have it on the screen here. It's like the website. And as of right now, there's an ad coming. Okay. As of right now, there is 6,500 backers for the HasLab. And if you compare it to the other HasLabs, I think it's a little slower. It's a little slower, but it's going to get funded. You know it's going to get funded. Now, what do we have to get to? We have to get to 14,000 to get the goal, or 18,000. I can't remember. I think it might be a slow burn. It might be a slow burn to get to some of those other tiers. But the thing is with these HasLabs, like, people kind of get like shock. It's a little shock with the sticker price right up front or whatever. I know it is for me because technically I am Canadian, and a lot of people don't know that or they're not paying attention. It doesn't matter. America and Canadian, we're the same market or whatever. So I usually talk in American prices or whatever, and translate the Canadian prices or back and forth. So $324.99 American isn't too bad. It's on the cusp of like expensive, okay, for like collectors out there. But for me, because I have to add the exchange rate in, this thing is costing me over $500 to get it to my house. I don't think it's worth the $500 for me. I mean, I'd probably rather feed my kids. But that doesn't mean it's not worth it for somebody else. Like, totally. Like, there's lots of people in the comments of this week's video. They're buying 2 or 3 of these things. I don't necessarily think it's as army builder friendly as, say, some of the other offerings they've had. But, I mean, everyone has their own thing. So, I mean, if you buy 2 or 3 of them, I'm sure you'll make good use of them. Also, but like when it comes down to the $324 or $325, let's just say call it $325. The thing is that they actually, if you're not it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm assuming this is the same for people who order in the USA compared to Canada. If you're not a premium member of Hasbro Pulse, you actually have to. They give you free shipping because it's over $75. But then they charge you a $30 surcharge, which is like basically, I find, like a kick in the jimmies, because you're like, it's already expensive enough. You're saying you're getting free shipping, but then they're like, hey, by the way, we're just going to charge you this extra $30 because it's kind of like it penalizes you because you're not a premium member. And it's kind of like, well, why don't you sign up for premium then? I mean, for me, I don't order much from Hasbro Pulse because it's all in American dollars. That's an added exchange rate, and the exchange rate fluctuates. So I can buy 95% of the products here in Canada at like GameStop or one of the extra retailers that are around, e-tailers on the online guys. And that's a guaranteed price. Or if I buy from Hasbro Pulse, for me, that price is going to fluctuate because there is an exchange rate that I have to calculate it in, and that calculation, that exchange rate fluctuates every day, like multiple times a day. So not worth it for me to to order from HasbroPulse.com, and I will never get that premium membership. But so because I don't have that premium membership, they charge you a $30 surcharge on top of the price. So technically, they should have like a little asterisk by that price. So technically, we're talking, it says it's $324.99. Let's just say $325. But we got to add $30 to that. So it's $355. And it's kind of weird how they do that. It's kind of like a hidden fee. But I mean, they got to do what they got to do. They're a business. They're in the process, the business of making money. So they got to do whatever they want to do. And that's cool. So for me, at this point, I can't see myself backing this just because it's really expensive. And I think for me, the thing is, it is a great offering. And like they knock these things out of the park. But it's not up there for something that I really want. I've already talked about this before in depth. I made sure I got the Dragonfly because I found the Dragonfly was a classic GIJoe Real American Hero vehicle, brought the classified, and I wanted to make sure I had that. So I ordered it. I got that. But I mean, I don't have infinite money. I don't have infinite space inside my house. So I don't know where everyone's putting these GIJoe classified vehicles. Anyways, enough ranting. Let's just go over what they're doing here. So, can I just 1 second? Browser, indirect. Okay. Sorry. You'll have to bear with me. I can't make this really big at the moment. The little side thing here with the browser. I haven't really figured that part out yet. Rookie streamer. I know you can adjust the size of it, but anyways, we'll just leave it as is for tonight. I need to put more research into this stuff. Okay, Frostbite. I think personally, we all knew Frostbite had to come with the Snowcat. We knew it was a Snowcat. We didn't know what it was going to come with, but we knew that if it was the Snowcat, Frostbite had to come with it, right? Like it was a no-brainer. Frostbite has been associated with the Snowcat for like a million years since it came out, whenever it came out in like 1986 or 1985 or whenever it was. Sorry, I don't have that year in my memory right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Whenever it came out originally, Frostbite was there. Frostbite's going to be part of the classified thing offering. And I don't know. I think he looks cool, but at the same time, I don't really like that dark brown fur on him. I do feel it kind of like, I don't know, distracts from it because I should have had the original figure out. He's in a bag there. I can't get him right now. I have like 2 or 3 extra ones. I do feel like if you compare it to the Real American Hero version, the Real American Hero version, the fur that's up here is a lot lighter. It's like more of like a white or more of like a off-white color. So it sort of blends in with it. And I do find this, the dark brown on the shoulders and everything it's distracting a little bit. But I mean, it's still a great figure. It's still a great figure. He's got that classic weapon. So they nailed that. He's got some glasses. The glasses are cool, but they do that a lot lately with GIJoe Classified. And sometimes, like, I feel like that's like one of the things that are going to get lost. The only thing worse than glasses that they do in GIJoe Classified is they'll give you like the little clips for the guns that can come out. Like, whoever designed that, I understand the realism that they were going for, but the idea that in like 20 years you're still going to have all those little clips that go into the guns, oh buddy, I don't know if that's going to be a reality. Like, whew. Anyways, so I think Frostbite was fairly decent. It's just that he's not a home run for me. I think, like, I mean, he's good enough or whatever. One thing, the common thing that I'm not really a fan of with this offering is I didn't need all of the playset food stuff that they're bringing with it or whatever. Like he has his coffee, like his thermos or whatever. Didn't really need all that stuff. Let's see. Do I have the pictures here? Sorry, I'm working here limited here, and it doesn't have the other pictures, so it's kind of messed up. Okay, so sorry. I didn't plan well enough ahead here. So I can't really change it to anything else that they have here. Okay, so the actual vehicle itself. So let's talk about the base offering. I think they rocked it. Originally, obviously, when this was highly rumored to becoming a thing, a lot of people were concerned that no, it can't be the Snowcat because the Snowcat is really small. And like there's no way they would make that a HasLab, and I think they took care of that. Like they quelled those concerns or whatever. Like it is huge. It is absolutely huge, and like I wasn't not necessarily prepared for how big it actually is. I mean, one would assume that it would have been the equivalent of the Hiss to give, say you've got your Hiss tank, you've got your Snowcat, they can battle it out or whatever, right? The thing is, like, it's much bigger than the Hiss tank. Well, at least appears from the sort of like the side-by-side view they had at the end of their stream. It appears to be much bigger. Let's see, Mark. Although this is a bit rich for my blood, I kind of wish they had last stretch goal had been October Guard Diana from Sunbow. So the thing is, okay, like I was going to talk about this. We'll talk about this now that Mark has brought this up. I personally think the figure selection on the Snowcat offering is not that great. Now, obviously, previously I had done videos on this thing, and basically, I had an idea, and I understand, we'll talk about the idea in 1 second. I understand people's pushback on that idea. The idea was that, like, you have so many winter-based GIJoe or Real American Hero character designs to draw from. I thought it would be fairly easy to, pick some. Now, I had, like, Blizzard in there, maybe Arctic Stalker, maybe Sub-Zero, some of those guys, okay? And then one of my other streams, one of the other viewers mentioned, like, why don't they throw Quinn in there? Because he's a, winter character from the Arctic. It's kind of like a callback to the comic book series. Excuse me. And I thought that was a great idea. I'm like, that is an amazing idea. Because much like the Dragonfly, where you had Glenda, that was this like, Spanish figure, I believe, that is more of like a callback from a different series. So it was kind of like, wow, okay, you're bringing things together. And I thought that was a great idea. Glenda in the Dragonfly, let's bring Quinn, or even your October Guard Diana is a good idea as well. Something obscure, right? That they could pull from the lore and bring it all together. Yeah, you're right. Evil King, pretty gutsy choice. Consider Hasbro still has a problem with yellowing plastic. I know, right? Like, yellowing plastic is the thing. So this thing is really white. There's a lot of white plastic here. So we're going to have to see how this turns out over the next, whenever people get it in a year and a half, a year, might be delayed, a year and a half, whenever they get it and it sits on some shelves, we'll see how quickly, people, turn around and say, look, the plastic is yellowing. I mean, maybe they've corrected it. Maybe they've fixed it up. I'm not really sure, but only time will tell. But back to the characters, the thing is, people were like, well, no, you really can't do some of those characters you suggested, like Blizzard, because they are considered mainline characters, and, it's not cool of them to, say, take those mainline characters and lock them behind a paywall that is the HasLab project. And I understand that argument, okay? I understand that argument. It makes sense or whatever. But I guess my thing is like, do you really think that, like, we're like 178, 180 GIJoe classified figures in, and they still have so many ones they haven't done? Like, look at the original 13 that they still haven't done, like Flash, like a bunch of other ones. That's just the original 13. And then you have ones throughout every one of those years that they haven't done. So why couldn't they have taken, say, okay, let's leave Blizzard for a 3-pack or something like that, or a 2-pack, but let's take Sub-Zero, like some random winterized character that, like, do you really think he's going to get a mainline release? Like, you know, later on down the road? I don't think he's going to get a later. He's so obscure. Or like, is that, like Avalanche? Like there's these characters, like, they're so obscure that they're never going to get a release. You could have put them in here. And I think personally that is why I'm fine with the offering. Internally I had some disappointment the first day when it came out, because I kind of felt like they missed the mark, sorry, when it came to the character selection. Now, when we do talk about the character selection it does come with, we're obviously talking about Lady J, and it's so funny, kind of embarrassing as well. The week before this came out, so last week's stream, I literally ranted on the stream how I didn't want to see a Lady J in a parka. And I was like, I don't know if that was leaked. I don't know if where that came from. I think somebody might have mentioned something on Twitter about it, and like a day before. So I don't know where it came from, but I didn't see a leak or whatever. I just threw that out there. And I was like, oh, we don't want to see that. That's a waste of a space or whatever. I'm like, please don't do that. Do some of these named obscure characters that I mentioned. And when it was released, I was like, oh my gosh, they actually did a Lady J in the parka. Now, here's the thing. And sorry, I apologize. I don't actually have the images ready to like push up on the screen. I mean, I could get it 1 second. I could get it 1 second. Let's see. Okay, just give me 1 second. Go to whose favorite resource? Histank.com. Histank.com. That's where we're going. And we're going desktop. We're saving that. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. Don't leave the stream. I'm just trying to make the stream better. So I'm getting some pictures here for you guys. And okay. So we'll do that. And we'll go. And hopefully I don't break OBS here. Just give me 1 second, guys. Where is OBS gone? Okay, we're gonna close that. We're gonna go browser. We're gonna delete the browser. Yes. And then we're gonna add an image. And then we're going to image. And then we're going to browse for an image. Please, guys, I'm so sorry I'm doing this live on stream. I should have had this ready. Okay. We're doing that. We're doing that. And I think, okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, totally messed this up. And, okay. It's not perfect, guys. It's not perfect. Okay. So I got Lady J up on screen. Sorry. Bear with me for a second, okay? This Lady J is really, when you break it down, is pretty cool, okay? Because she's got that cartoon look to her. She's in a parka. She's got a bunch of cool okay, I'm going to stipulate here for a second. She's got a bunch of accessories. Some of them are cool and some of them are not. I think they kind of did a good job with it. Do I still want it part of the HasLab offering? Not really. But it's kind of like a double-edged sword. They've done a great job with the actual female form and the character. But some of these accessories, oh my god, they kind of suck. So, like, my problem here, and I'm not trying to be negative, I'm sorry, is that I think they went a little hog wild on the playability factor, and I think what they're going a little too deep into is they're really focusing on like, oh, I can't wait to see what pictures people do with these or whatever, like their props or whatever. I don't think, And it just ties throughout the whole offering. I don't think she needed the fishing line. With the like, just think about this for a second. She has a fishing line with removable, like, string or like rope or whatever, or line, fishing line, that's in two different, the cast or the going down. Did we really need that as part of this HasLab offering? Like, somebody had to make that, design that, put time into it. Then, like, if I can understand that to a point, okay? But then, the auger, did we need the auger? Like, how many pictures are you going to take with Lady J going like, hey, I'm drilling a fishing hole for my ice fishing while I'm out here in the snowcat? I'm sorry, that was silly. That was silly. Nobody needed that auger. And I'm sorry if there's people out there on the internet watching this who are like, no, I love all these accessories. These are amazing. That is fine. These are just my opinions. You're allowed to have your own opinions as well. More power to you if you like them. That's great. She comes with her javelins, which is awesome. She comes with the backpack. She comes with a cup of coffee. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody in the chat, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Can she actually hold the cup of coffee? Can she really? I don't know if she can. Like, her hands are like this big. The cup of coffee is like this big. Like, can she? I don't think she can hold the cup of coffee. So, like, so they created that accessory to put in the kitchenette of the snowcat. I think all that, the food items could have been scrapped. I think that was a waste of time. That's just my opinion, okay? Just my opinion. So that's Lady J. Like I said, the actual character is great, but let's back up for a second. We forgot to talk about the extra head, the mean face head. Like, why is she so mean looking in that with the toque on, the hat on? Like, and like, I don't know. I think they missed this. Like, they should have came up with some better offerings. I do understand why they did it, not to lock away some mainline characters behind a paywall, but we still got these guys, and I think by doing this, they brought down some of the likability of the offering. Maybe that's why we're sitting at 6,500 and it's not backed as of yet. This is my opinion. Okay, so next up, let me just see for a second. Browse. Next up, we got Flint. And I guess basically, if I wanted to, I could just take everything I just said about Lady J and dump it on Flint. When it comes down to it, I think Flint, his body, he looks super cool. He looks really cool in a winter jacket. So that is awesome. He looks cool. And they really nailed his like hat and his face. He looks like he's jumped right out of the cartoon, which is totally awesome. I think they nailed it. But it's more like, look at these accessories again. We've got a few weapons. Great. Good job. He's got the classic rifle. He's got a shotgun, got a handgun. But did we need the pot of coffee? Did we need the cup of coffee? Did we need the eggs and the frying pan? And the skewers and the wieners? No, we didn't. And I think that is a total waste. I think, like, I guess my thing here, and I mentioned this in my video, I think the only reason they have a kitchenette complete with a wine chiller is because Tony Stark designed the new center. I'm throwing one of these for every 20 unit sale. Like, I just think, like, how many people are going to go home, open this up, and set up, like, a cookout camp? Is that what your GIJoes are for? Like you said, oh yeah, like, Evil King, these are Barbie accessories. I agree. These are Barbie accessories. Like, I didn't need these to be a part of my G.I. Joe classified offerings. I think they took the idea of world building in the wrong way. And maybe, now, see, this is the thing. Maybe this is how it went. Hey, guys, the team's like, we need to provide some offerings for this classified HasLab coming up. And they probably, like, stuck out some, they stuck, like, some names, some figures to the wall. And they're like, okay, well, we've got, say, like, these 5 or 6 names that we're going to, like, have to pick out the figures. And then somewhere along the way, somebody was like, you know what? Instead of trapping some of these figures behind a paywall, let's produce the Bivovac, and we'll get a like the playset, and let's just bring it up while I'm doing here. We'll get the playset, right? And because, you know, our fans want playsets, so I think, like I said, they're sticking stuff on the wall, seeing what stuck for this offering. And somebody came up with this. Let's do the Bivovac. And I can't say that name properly. Somebody actually called me out on my video about it. They were kind of dickish about it personally. But I mean, they called me out saying, oh, you can't say it properly. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about toys. I don't really care. But this came up and somebody was like, well, you know what? It's like a lean-to, and they can set up camp, and we'll just include everything from the Real American Hero line, but we'll expand on it. And somebody was like, well, let's put a fire in. And the way they did the fire is actually pretty cool, how they have the coals, and you put the fire on top of it, and it looks like it's lit. Or you could take the fire off, and it looks like it's not lit. But then somebody's like, well, I mean, if they have a fire, they might want to cook food. Okay, guys, let's give them some wieners to roast. And you can put the little wieners on the roasty and you can put it in the fire. I mean, it just snowballed, and I think it got a little out of control. Like, this idea, if you ever hear a noise, by the way, my table kind of creaks every now and then. So I've never really watched a full of my own stream back. So I don't know if it picks it up on the microphone. It probably does. So if you ever wonder what it was, that's what it is. I try not to shake the table while I'm here, but sometimes I do. So the thing is like the food accessories just got out of control, and I think that is a miss for me. And so for me, I don't necessarily like the figures that were included. I understand the reasoning, but I still don't like them. The Bivovac, I think it is a step in the right direction. I mean, hopefully, you know, one can say, like, why is this stuck behind a paywall? You know, this would have been pretty cool. I think if this was put out, people would have bought it. But now it's stuck behind a paywall. Not that I'm complaining. Like, they have to have stuff to be able to draw you in to pay for it. So, I mean, I understand it. I'm not really complaining. But, like, the argument loses some weight now that this thing is behind it. But, like, it's a playset. Hopefully they do more. But the whole food thing, I think, wow, it's totally out of left field, and I don't like it. And Evil King in the chat nailed it. These are Barbie accessories, and I don't think they needed to come with a GIJoe Classified. Mark, way back when I had a 12-inch, when Diana Jeep, I grabbed my sister's Barbie and dolls, and it's a joke. Yeah, they didn't have tea either. That's, you know, that worked out, right? So, I mean, get some of your Barbies and bring them to lunch or whatever when you get your thing. And so, related to the, I wonder if I can grab it here quickly. Just 1 second. Where did his tank? Okay, 1 second. Do I have a picture of that from his tank? There it is right here. And I'll just save on the desktop, and then I'll go over here. Bear with me. Browse. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this down here, and we'll make it a little bigger. So, there is the kitchenette. The kitchenette pulls out from the side of the Snowcat, and they're like, you know, you got your 2 coffee cup holders. You've got your because there's a hot plate or whatever, right? Where you can like put stuff where the frying pan goes on the side there too. And that's with the Bivouac. So all that goes, and then they've got the two slots on the side where you can put your the skewers or whatever. Like, are we playing Barbie here? Are we supposed to be fighting the evil forces of Cobra? And that's my thing here, right? Like, that had to be engineered, and I understand it adds a level of detail to the Snowcat, but I mean, it's a level of detail I don't think we need it when it comes down to it. Not a big fan. But like, I mean, that's not going to stop me from, if I was going to back this or whatever. It's just, these are just little nitpicks that I'm just picking up on that I'm not a fan of. So the pull out catch net, I think is kind of dumb. I mean, I don't know about you. I think I read this on Twitter, or it was in the comments on my YouTube video. I'd rather have this a weapons holder. Make this a place where you can put Frostbite's gun or some of the other guys' guns, right? And then you pull it out. That would have made so much more sense. And I think they kind of missed it on that, right? So, I don't know. So, like, I mean, I think they could have did a little better with that, right? So, so I'm just trying to see if I should, sorry guys, I should have had these pictures grabbed earlier, but I did not. So I apologize for that. Just quickly, it's easy to do when you get going. So I just changed the picture here. And so this, I talked about this earlier. This was the size difference, right? Between the different figures, the different vehicles. You can see that like the Snowcat is huge, absolutely huge. Alternatives, Mark, fire extinguisher and a toolkit. Yes, because I do think those are things that you need for like the vehicle, right? I think that would have been okay. Like, I mean, I think the Vamp comes with like a fire extinguisher and stuff like that, right? But anyways, they included those Barbie accessories, and it's not really my thing. I think they went down the path of, well, people are going to create these amazing dioramas, but like, you're supposed to be battling Cobra. Let's like launch a rocket at him, include more blast effects or whatever, right? We didn't need the Barbie accessories. Anyways, this thing is huge. You can see the size of it, like the Stinger, the Hiss Tank, and the Snowcat. Like, look how big it is compared to the Hiss Tank. When the Hiss Tank came out, now I don't have a Hiss Tank either, but all of us thought the Hiss Tank was so big. Oh my gosh, look how big the Hiss Tank is. Because you can't really count the Dragonfly and the Rattler. They're planes, they're helicopters, they're going to be huge, right? A plane and a helicopter is obviously going to be bigger than like your average tank, your Hiss Tank, or whatever. So they don't really count. The Hiss Tank's huge. The Snowcat is even bigger. Like, wow, dude, like and you got people ordering 2 or 3 of these things. Where are you going to put it? I don't know where you're going to put it. You must have huge houses at home. And sorry, I cannot find one of my screens. Oh, there it is. That's the screen I was looking for. So the thing is, so big. Anyways, like, to me, not necessarily the best. It's not the best HasLab offering, but it's not necessarily the worst. I definitely think the Marvel and the Star Wars ones are sort of like sometimes worse or whatever. But for GIJoe, the only one that would be worse to me, because when they announced this, right, they're like, oh, this is our 5th HasLab, and it's like, this is number 5, and we're so glad that it's number 5, and it's continuing on. And a lot of people are like, 5? I'm like, no, guys, you're counting wrong. There's 4 GIJoe classified HasLabs. And then you had to clue in that the 5th one is the Sky Striker, the Real American Hero Sky Striker. And actually, I'm going to do a video on that at some point, but I personally believe that the GIJoe, a Real American Hero, Sky Striker, HasLab totally killed the Real American Hero line at Hasbro. And just quickly, because that one barely got funded. And I think that showed to the bigwigs, the CEOs, the executives that nobody wants to support a Real American Hero. So just one second, guys. this is showing. Do you guys not see that? You guys see the Snowcat up there still? Am I messed up here? I don't know. Did you guys... I don't know what I did. On the screen here, it shows you guys are still looking at the website for the... What are you guys looking at on the screen? What do you guys see at the screen? Oh, no, you guys see that. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. I am... Okay. Sorry. I'm getting confused. There's too many screens up here, and I apologize. So, I apologize about that. Okay. This is what's pumping out. I'm going to bring it back here. We're going to go back here to the main screen. We're going to get rid of that stuff. So, you just got me talking again. I don't remember what I was talking about, but... Oh, I was talking about GIJoe Real American Hero. I personally think the Sky Striker absolutely killed that at Hasbro. Because it barely got funded. And it was... I'm sorry. I don't know if for anyone out there that did support it, more power to you. I personally think it was one of the dumbest things they've ever done. They basically gave us... a 1-for-1 reissue of a Sky Striker. And the thing is, right, is that you could pretty much go get a vintage Sky Striker for the same price, or probably even cheaper than that HasLab. So it barely got funded. And the thing is, it sucked. It killed a Real American Hero at Hasbro. And now the only way we get Real American Hero stuff really is when they do the Transformer crossovers. They'll put the O-ring figures in there, and those things are expensive. And you would think as a Transformer / GIJoe collector, I would have all those. I only have 2 at the moment. I have Megatron and Bumblebee with the corresponding GIJoe figures. And the thing is, I will hopefully potentially get more once I go to Transformer Con in Toronto this upcoming weekend. I've got my fingers crossed. I can either find Cup or Soundwave for a decent price. There's a e-tailer here in Canada that is currently selling the Cup for $89. If I don't find it cheaper at Transformer TFCon in Toronto, I'm probably going to buy it from him. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, I find a good deal. But I'm really upset with the Real American Hero not being offered by Hasbro. And I think I'm going to do another video. Sorry, I burped. I apologize. I'm not drunk, guys. Swear to God. I just had some Coke. I'm going to do another video on what I think an amazing Real American Hero HasLab idea that they should do, but I don't think we'll ever get it because they've killed it. They've killed the interest in it with that original Sky Striker. Look, when it comes down to it, the Snowcat is very good. I think it will get funded. It's just a slow burn right now, and it'll get there. I'm worried about some of the other tiers. I don't know if the Bivouac will get funded. We'll see. It's got to get to... No, that's 12,000, and Flint is the last one at 14,000. I think we'll see that. Like, we'll see. I think they'll be okay. We're on day 39 of what, like 45 or something like that. Like, it's been a few days. It's gonna get funded. I would say in the next 8 to 10 days it gets funded, like the base offering, and then we'll see it pick up. Once the base offering picks up, I think some of the other ones will pick up as well. And then, you know what happens? You're like, oh no, it's not going to be funded. And then the last day, like, people like go like crazy, and it gets funded like crazy. So I don't think we have to worry about it. There'll be Snowcats out in the wild soon enough. It's not necessarily the most perfect offering that they could have done. I don't know necessarily what could have been better. A lot of people were really interested in, say, like a Mauler or a Mobat. Those ones are weird, right? Because the Mauler is probably the better one of those two to do. I think a lot of people wanted that classic Mobat, But like the guy sits in the top, and like, are they going to totally redesign it so the guy, like, you know, goes inside of it, and then it's not necessarily the same thing? I don't know if we'll ever see a Mobat. I think if between the Mobat and the Mauler, I think we see the Mauler first. Anyways, that's my opinion. I have to drink some water here for a second, guys. 1 second. Last week I didn't get water and my throat was done. I said today wasn't going to be a long stream, but you know what? I just spent 45 minutes talking about the HasLab. So, I mean, if you're here watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Leave a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you could, leave a like if you really could. So now, next up, what we'll talk about. We will talk about, actually, just quick thing. If you, and I mentioned this last stream, if you have not watched my GIJoe HasLab reaction video, go over and watch that because we're doing a giveaway, and I talked about this last stream, and the giveaway is basically live. So at the end of that video, the HasLab reaction video, I go over how you can enter to win this GIJoe Special Missions issue number 1. Just a small little giveaway. I had an extra copy, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a giveaway. You know what? This issue has nothing to do with the HasLab. It was just I had an extra. It's GIJoe related. So go watch that video. It's almost to 2,000 views. Get it over to 2,000 views if you could, guys. So do that and get a comment. Leave a like and a comment on that specific video, the HasLab reaction video, and you get yourself entered to win that. Sorry, there's glare on it from the light. Anyways, pretty cool. I think it's a neat little giveaway. So do that. Make sure you enter. And we'll do. You know what? This is the first one. I'm kind of seeing how that goes with giveaways. We'll do them again. I like to give away stuff to people, and especially like neat little things. So this one's a GIJoe giveaway. Maybe the next giveaway will be something Transformer related. That could happen as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, what we'll talk about now is actually so this week on the channel, I actually did 2 videos. The first video was obviously a very, very, very time-sensitive HasLab reaction video about the Snowcat, where basically whatever I just talked about here, I just shortened down into a video. There might be some extra tidbits that I missed in the video compared to this live stream, because I'm just like, boom, totally off the cuff here, and I might have missed some things. But you know what? Check out the video and enter the contest. But I did another video this week. And it's not very often I get a chance to do 2 videos. Moving forward, I might do 2 videos, like a short video earlier in the week, a longer video for the end of the week. We'll see how it goes. So I released a video. I missed my normal Friday time slot. So normally, if I'm doing a late week video, I'll try to get that to go live around 8:15 on Friday morning, and that way it has time to like percolate in the system on Friday and then go really push out to everyone Saturday and Sunday. And to me, for my schedule, that usually works pretty well. And so this week, what I did was I went back to, we're talking Transformers here now for a second. I went back to the Transformer Studio Series live stream, which was very well done. I did a video on that on the channel as well. It was well received. And we talked about the part at the end where Nate and Evan kind of opened up, and they kind of talked about like how they feel about things. And they were talking about like they're answering fan questions. And one of the things came up was the idea of combiners. And now, look, the thing is, I'm trying to see if I have any around. I don't really have any around that I can just grab off my shelf here. When it comes to combiners, I am a huge fan of combiners. I have, like, you can't see it behind me here, but behind me there's like some glass cases. I have every single Generation 1 combiner complete. So, you know, Devastator, Bruticus, Menasor, the Seacon guy. I can't remember his name. Priacon, I think. Defensor, Superion. I have all those guys. I love them, and I had a bunch of them, like the individual parts as a kid. My mom gave away my Transformers, so I had to recollect them again. And through his adult collector, I was able to collect all the individual parts and get them. And I love combiners. And so when they were doing in like Studio Series 86 and Age of the Primes, I'm all in on Superion. I'm all in on Devastator. I'm all in on Bruticus. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Okay? So they're going to be really cool. But what they did at the end of the video, they talked about how, Evan and Nate, they talked about, hey, one of the big questions are, what's next for combiners? What's next, right? What are we expecting to see? And the thing is, they got big plans. You can tell. Like, look, when it comes down to it, remember, the number one thing you have to remember is fans. Hasbro's here to make money. Money is made by selling items to their customer base. Their customer base wants more combiners. Therefore, Hasbro's going to make more combiners. And they kind of talked about it. They kind of bounced back and forth. And long story short, I mean, there are a lot of different combiners, right? You could do RID Build King. You know, there's a million different combiners that they can grab from different lines. But they talked about 4 in particular. They talked about Predaking, Rail Racer, Monstructor, and Defensor. And that is an epic lineup of combiners. Obviously, for me, Defensor and Predaking, they're Generation 1. Monstructor is 2, but I didn't really have much history of Monstructor. So that one's kind of more far out for me. And I think, okay, let's talk about Monstructor first. Monstructor, yeah. First, I personally think that one is a harder one to do because like you'd have to do those pretender bots basically, and then they're like Monstructor out of all the combiners is very much a parts former. You got to pick the parts off and you got to put them together and stuff like that. I mean, I think they will get him done eventually. He's not on my priority list. Let's put him to the side. Whoop. We put him to the side. I really want Predaking and Defensor. I mean, obviously we're going to finish Bruticus first, and then we're going to hopefully get onto these. So I would think we wouldn't see, say, whoever's next, say Defensor, Predaking, or Rail Racer. I would say we wouldn't see them until late 2026, early 2027 at the earliest. Like, we already have all these leaks for 2026. So, I mean, they're not in the leak list. So I would assume we're not going to see them anytime soon, right? So that's the thing. So these guys are far away. They are far away down the line. But you know what? That gives us something to look forward to, right? So, let's do a poll. Who are you looking forward to the most? So Predaking, Monstructor, Defensor, or Rail Racer. Okay. Little poll there. I don't even know if you guys are Transformer fans who are left in the chat. So they bring those 4 guys up, and for me, Defensor and Predaking are at the top of the list. I mean, once they're done with Bruticus, you're gonna need a Defensor to basically battle them because, I mean, when we come down to it, none of these things are set in stone, but I think it's fair to say Devastator fights Superion, Bruticus fights Defensor. And I mean, obviously there's some intermixing in there, but I do think that's who they battle against or whatever for the most part. So if you're doing Bruticus, I think they'll probably do Defensor first, but it might be one of these things where like one is in one line and one is in the other line, and then kind of do them at the same time. Like in my video, that if you haven't watched it yet, I mentioned that, like, oh, hopefully we see Predaking in studio series. And then I recorded that and I was like, that was kind of a mistake. I don't think you would see Predaking in studio series because I just don't think that's a good fit. I mean, obviously he wasn't in the movie 86 the Transformer movie 86 Transformer movie. Oh my gosh. So I don't think he would be in the studio series line. So move him to Age of Primes or whatever is ongoing wherever when he is set to be released. Age of Primes, whatever, the sub-series is going to be. They're going to get 3 out of it or whatever, like they always do. So put him over there. I do think Predaking is going to be really badass. Now, somebody in the comments on my video that I did mentioned that Predaking is usually a little bigger than Devastator. I mean, I think as long as they do it in a similar format, I don't necessarily mind if Predaking is like, a little bit bigger than Devastator. Hey, it's Fathom Son. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining the chat. Anyways, yeah, so I think more combiners are going to be cool. Now, I'm actually, while I do really want the Generation 1 ones, because I love Generation 1, I do think Rail Racer is a good option as well. For me personally, and I mentioned this in my video, I don't actually have a Rail Racer. I don't know why. I'm not really sure, because the thing is, and I might have mentioned this in a stream a long time ago. The thing is, like, I'm a certain age. I'm, mid-40s. And I obviously collected Generation 1 Transformers. I had Generation 1 Transformers when I was a kid. You played with them. You're not a collector at that point. You play with them. My mom gave away my Transformers at some point when I was like, 12, 13, 14. I'm not really sure. Gave it away. So boom, they're gone out the door. And then, as a kid, you become like a 15, 16-year-old. You're not necessarily interested in toys anymore. You're going to high school. You're interested in girls possibly or whatever. And that's fine. You grow. At some point, I went to university when I was 18, 19. I can't remember. I'm horrible with time and dates. And what happened was I used to have to go to university and I would have to get the bus home. When I got the bus home, I had to transfer. And when I transferred, it was at a mall. And you would sometimes have, if you didn't time it correctly, you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. If you didn't time it correctly, basically, you would have to stay at the mall for an hour until the next bus cycle started. And, that happened frequently. And what I would do was, at the mall, there was a Walmart. And so I would go into Walmart and, like, you look around while you're waiting for the bus to come back. And basically, there was the toy section. And I would go in and look at the toy section. And what was on the shelf of the toy section was Robots in Disguise, RID 2001. That was out at that point. And I was like, oh, wow. And you have to remember, a bunch of those, such as the Ruination, are based on Bruticus from Generation 1. What did I like? Generation 1. So I would go there and I would look at these releases and I was like, damn, they're pretty sweet. I'm like, oh, Transformers is coming back out. And I was like, I'll just buy like a couple. I'll make Ruination, and because he's Generation 1 based, and I'll get that guy. And then like the next day I bought another one, and I bought another one, and I slowly started to buy more and more. And then like the little guys, like the Spy Changers from Robots in Disguise. And then, I bought Optimus Prime, and I bought Ultra Magnus. And for some reason, and I turned the cartoon on, and the cartoon is kind of weird, right? But it's different from other cartoons. But anyways, it's still interesting watch. It made me want to buy more and more Transformers. And that release of Robots in Disguise has got me back into toy collecting as an adult or whatever, right? So it sparked my love of collecting. But where I'm going with this, and that's a long rant, was that for whatever reason, I never purchased Rail Racer when the 3 trains that were out, obviously during the release of Robots in Disguise, I never picked those guys up, and I don't know why I did that. That was a mistake, because as a collector now, I would absolutely kill to have a Rail Racer in my collection. And so, once again, he is on my list of things to pick up at a convention possibly, or I actually seen him show up once on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm still kicking myself. The guy had two versions. He had an in-box version and an open version. And I was like, well, I don't know exactly. I think the box version was like, for all three, it was like, let's just say $50 Canadian, which is a steal of a deal. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more. And then he had this second version, which was opened and loose. He had it for like $35 or something Canadian. And so there's only like $15 or $20 in difference between the boxed version and the unboxed version. I was like, well, I'm not a big boxed version. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not a big in-box version because I'd rather have the figure out and on display. So I didn't want to spend the extra money on the box version. I contacted him to buy the in-box version. I contacted him to buy the loose version. And he's like, oh man, too bad. They just sold. He's like, I only have the box version left. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh man, I don't want the box version. So I'm not going to pick him up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want that, right? And I was like, okay. And I let it go for like, say, like a day or 2 days. And then I was like, you're an idiot. I'm like, it was only $20 in the difference. It's not like it would cost you a lot. I'm like, well, pick up the box version for the extra $20. You secured a Rail Racer. Pick it up. It's part of your collection. Open it if you want. Don't open it if you don't want it. I contacted him. He's like, oh, dude, I sold it like a day later. I totally missed out on Rail Racer. And to this day, I still don't have a Rail Racer. But so this idea that we might get a new modern Rail Racer as a combiner is kind of exciting for me. Somebody mentioned that, because we've done Omega Prime as the last HasLab, they could potentially see Rail Racer as a HasLab. I think he'd be an okay HasLab, only if they did him to a certain scale. Like, he's got to be much bigger. He's got to be much bigger than his initial offering. And that was one of the reasons why I wasn't really a big fan of the HasLab Omega Prime, was because while he was a bit bigger, he was just basically a 1-for-1 reissue, much like that Sky Striker I talked about earlier in the stream. And I thought it was a real waste that they did him. Because, you can't see it here. No. I actually have Prime and Ultra Magnus still in my collection, in my case or whatever, right? And you know what's funny about that? We'll circle back. I think Evil King made a comment earlier, or somebody did, about the white HasLab plastic in the Snowcat and a might yellow. I have an Ultra Magnus from Robots in Disguise, an original one. It's in my case. And I was surprised. I took it out the other day to clean something, and he has yellowed. A lot of the plastic on him is yellowed, and that really sucks because he's a really cool toy, and he's been one of my favorites for a while. I like his look to him. He's got that little upper and the little body and the long legs, and it kind of sucks. He's yellowed over time, and like he's in basically an enclosed room that's in my basement that like gets no sunlight, and like he yellowed for some reason, right? The age of the plastic. Yeah, so autocorrect primer. Yeah, I'm assuming Rail Racer is hard to find. I don't expect to find him anytime soon. It'd be nice to have him. Yeah, it's funny, autocorrect. I will go one step further. I usually open my Transformers, but I actually hardly ever transform them. I store my Transformers as action figures. So they are normally permanently stuck in robot form. That's just how I do it. I don't have time to be transforming all these Transformers all the time. So I like them when they're in robot form. And I feel like that's kind of what you're paying for. I mean, you're paying for the ability to transform them as a toy, but as an adult collector, I just have them in robot form and displayed. So that's what I like. Yeah, a lot of white figures do yellow, and it's kind of weird that Hasbro hasn't got this under control. I don't know, like, actually, so I'm going to TFCon next week in Toronto. I don't know if anyone else is going, but one of the guys there that I'm going to buy his Masterpiece Ultra Magnus off him, he actually has a, I guess it's Earthrise Fortress Maximus. I'm not sure if it's Earthrise. I'm not sure which series it's from, but that Fortress Maximus, and he's selling it for a discount because his hip is all white and it's all yellowed from the plastic, and that really sucks. Oh yeah, you keep yours in robot form too. Yeah, it's the only way, right? You got to keep it in robot form because that's cool. Anyways, so I'm on the fence. He actually sent me pictures of that Fortress Maximus from Earthrise. I believe it's Earthrise. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And I can't really tell. You can't really tell from the pictures how yellowed it is, but it doesn't look like it's like, I mean, it's not like this yellow from my cup here or whatever, right? It's just yellow. What am I doing here? Sorry, lost my thought train. I'm looking for the wrong thing. It's not this yellow or whatever. It's just like white, and it's kind of like an off-white. I'm thinking about buying it. So it's an Earthrise Fortress Maximus, complete, every accessory, the box, everything, and he's selling it for $150 Canadian. I feel like that's a fairly good deal. The only reason I'm on the fence is I'm actually bringing a Titans Returns, a Combiner Wars Titan Devastator that I'm trying to sell. I wanted to sell that for like $250, $300 Canadian, and I really wanted a Siege Omega Supreme, and it's tough because I don't know if I was going to bring the Earthrise Fortress Maximus if I don't buy it ahead of time or tell them I want to buy it. But I kind of wanted to see if I could get a Siege Omega Supreme first, and then if I can't buy that, then I would buy the thing. So I think I'm going to see if he can bring it, and then determine how much money I have left over with the sales, with the trades, and how much I've bought, to see if I can afford possibly the Fortress Maximus if there's no Omega Supremes around at the convention. That's my thing. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The hard stuff, guys. Coke. So, we'll see how it goes. Now, the thing is, where's my notes here? Besides, obviously, the big news of the week was the HasLab reveal for Transformers. We're still coming off those awesome streams. There's a rumor out there brooding. I kind of got stuck there for a second, guys. There's a rumor out there that Missing Link Ultra Magnus might be on the way. And I've done a previous video on this. Okay, one thing you'll know if you're a fan of the channel, if you notice, if you clue in, is that I take, like, this stuff's not serious. It's just collecting toys or whatever. But I usually delve into like the rumors and kind of like read what the facts are. And I'm pretty good at reading the room. Okay, and if that's a thing, for toy collecting. And I'm pretty good at seeing where like the business is going. And you know what? Like, there's a rumor coming that Grimlock and Ultra Magnus are coming to Missing Link. I've done a video on it. I give my ideas on what I think they can fix. So check that out if you haven't seen it. But there's more rumors about Ultra Magnus. And the thing is, with toys, with video games, anything, where there's smoke, there's fire. So the more time you're hearing about, say, Ultra Magnus coming, or maybe Ultra Magnus is coming, or like the more times you hear about it, that means that's more of an idea that that it is going to be true. I do think we will get an Ultra Magnus missing link in the next several months, and obviously they're going to have to fix his articulation, maybe split apart his legs, because he's in that brick format or whatever. And I think we will get to see that Ultra Magnus very, very, very soon. So, I mean, that's the thing. I like the idea of that series. I don't have any of the missing links. I think they're really expensive. But anyways, I do think Ultra Magnus will come. I do think Grimlock will come as well. Probably maybe a more staggered release between those. Ultra Magnus is coming. I've seen the model. Okay, you've seen the model, autocorrect. You got some inside connections. Hey, I'm not up. Maybe I don't know if that's leaked on the internet or whatever. I had a very busy weekend with my kids or whatever, so I'm not up on everything. Sometimes I actually wasn't even sure I was going to get a chance to stream tonight, but I was like, no, I tell everyone I'm going to stream at this time, so I'm going to make sure I come back and stream. And I didn't think I was going to stream for this long, but we're an hour and 10 in roughly, and I'm having fun. But because I don't have a co-host or whatever, it's me talking for an hour. It draws on my my throat after a while. And I have to go to work tomorrow, and it's getting late. It's 12:41 a.m. here. Usually, we'll see if around 1 o'clock we'll cut it. But so we got a few minutes left. Obviously, more than a few minutes. Okay. The big thing for me is, actually, you know what's funny? I mean, not okay. I shouldn't really mention this on the stream or whatever, but that combiner video that I did on the channel that I released Saturday, for some reason, has blown up completely. It's gone like out to the internet. It's almost like in 2 days, it's got 5,000 views. That's a lot of views. I only have a small little channel, so I'm really impressed with that. And for some reason, the internet's really liking that video. I have to go back. If you left a comment on that video and I haven't answered all the comments, I promised that I would. I am going to do that. I'm going to go back and make sure I answered every single comment on that video. A friend of mine from the Forge project I showed images. Oh, nice. I'm not up on that. Sorry, but I do, like you said, Ultra Magnus, it's a guarantee it's coming. So the last thing that we're going to talk about here tonight is, so this week I've got a big week coming. And if you're a fan of the channel, if you've been here before, you know what I'm talking about, is that I've only got so many days before I got to get everything packed up in the car, and I got to drive to Toronto to attend TFCon 2025, which, if you're not in on it, is Transformer Con Toronto. It takes place in Mississauga, which is like a suburb of like the larger Toronto or whatever. So, I mean, often I used to call it like, you go to Mississauga, but it's the overall city is in Toronto. So they call it TFCon Toronto. I'm looking forward to this. This is my like one time out, to go to a convention or whatever. It's a toy convention. It's Transformer related, and it's a big, big, big thing. So I've already got like, sorry, if I do this quickly, I've already got like a bunch of deals lined up. So I'm obviously selling stuff. Autocorrect primer. I am not backing the Snowcat, not because I don't think it's a good offering. It does have its issues, but for me, it's really expensive, and it's not really hitting it home for me that I want to spend that much money on it. Are you backing it? Let me guess, you're gonna get 2. Oh, you autocorrect. You're going to TFCon this year, or you've been there before? Are you going this year? Now, are you Canadian? Are you American? Have you been to other TFCons? I think they're usually in Florida or California. Or there's usually one in the Northeast as well sometimes. or are you going to the Canadian one? Have you been to the Canadian one? Let me know. No, I'm drumroll. Cut it off. I don't know. Are you Canadian or American? No, I'm. That's all I got. Oh my gosh. The pressure. So, oh yeah, sorry. I was starting to get up my Google Drive here. So I'm looking for deals that I got here. So what do I got? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got about 7 or 8 deals where I'm selling my stuff to people. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 deals where I'm trading or buying stuff off other people. So that's 14 deals that I've lined up ahead of the convention that I know I'm going to get some good action on. And then you got the whole dealer room. Oh my gosh, the dealer room is insane. Sorry. You're American. I hope to go to the one in Chicago. When is that one? I think, is that one in March maybe? So obviously TFCon started in, thanks for subscribing. Hit the like button if you could too. Don't mind me e-begging. TFCon started in Canada and has since spread to the US, and I'm glad they have them in the US or whatever. I think it's obviously USA is a bigger population. They can have them at maybe a bit bigger events there or whatever, but the Canadian one is pretty solid. I'm looking forward to this one. Like I said, the dealer room is in this huge convention room, and there's like so many tables, and like going around the different tables. I love, like, you got to find the deals. You got to find the deals. Oh, October. Okay, so it's, not too far away. Digging through the bins underneath people's tables. Oh my gosh, I am excited. And don't worry. So I'm going there next week. So usually, TFCon is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't go Fridays anymore because that costs me an extra night in a hotel. So what I do is, I live in Ottawa, which is about 4.5 hours from Mississauga, where the event is. And I usually get up and leave between 6 and 6:30 in the morning. I drive for that 4.5 hours, get to there, I park, I get my tickets to the convention, I check into the hotel, and then I'm right to the dealer room, and I go in and see what I can find. And now it's always it's so hard because, like I said, I have 14 deals on the go, 7 for and 7 like kind of like against. And you have to meet up with these people, right? And you have to find them. And it takes it's not a lot of effort or whatever, but sometimes it's like, one person's like, I can meet at 12, and you go meet them. And then you go back to the dealer room and somebody's like, I can meet at 12:15. You have to leave. It's all a lot of walking around or whatever. But the dealer room is usually stacked with stuff. And this year, I'm going to try a new thing. I didn't really try it a lot last year, but, well, okay, let's back up. What I do, and I've talked about this before as well, I bring as much stuff with me as possible. I do not have a booth. I'm not there to sell my stuff into the masses at a booth. But like I said, I do trade and sell beforehand to other people going to the convention. Sorry, excuse me. Coke. And so what I'm doing is I bring as much stuff as possible. I list it online, hopefully get to sell it or whatever. And that funds my time there at the convention. So I sell some of the stuff, buy some stuff. It's a vicious cycle. You get rid of the old to bring in the new, right? I'm bringing as much stuff as possible. And then what I do, and I've talked about this before, is I bring all my stuff to the hotel sales. The hotel room sales after hours, because I'm a hotel guest. I have access to the hotel, and basically people have sales in the rooms. I go check it out. I bring my stuff. People are like, "Oh, you want to trade and stuff like that?" Yeah. And that helps move some of my stuff along as well. So I think it's going to be pretty epic. I'm looking forward to it. I looked at the guest list and I wasn't blown away with the guest list this year, but once again, what I do is I go to the panels, I check them out for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I decide, like, is this something I want to see more of, or should I go back and look in the dealer room? And so I usually, if it's not grabbing me to stay in that panel, I'll go back to the dealer room, or I'll go back to my room and sort some of my stuff for a bit and take a break, and then go back to the dealer room. But I'm so looking forward to it. And I think I have so much stuff, so much stuff that I'm bringing to sell. There's actually a group chat I'm in on Twitter, and they're all going as well. And we're going to kind of meet up and trade some stuff as well. So I think TFCon is going to be one of the highlights of my collecting year. It usually is. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait. So what I was going to say was, obviously, I'm going to go do that. And I'm going to go do that. And then that ends usually about 4 p.m. on Sunday. And then, of course, I have to get ready. I have to drive back. It's going to take me 4.5 hours to get back. And then I get back here around like 8 or 9. It depends when I leave or whatever. Sometimes I don't stay until the very end. I'll probably leave like 2-ish or whatever, 2:30. Depends when I get home. And basically, I will probably stream that night, and I'll show you. Sorry, wow, I don't know what happened there. I'm not drunk, guys. I swear to God. I am bad with my words and whatever, and my mouth is so dry right now. So I will stream, and I'll show you all my goodies that I got at TFCon, and we can go over it. And that will be next week's stream. We'll talk about TFCon, what I've seen, as well. While I'm at TFCon this year, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to vlog like I did last time, which is, I'm just going to take short little videos of my real world experiences, and then I'll cut them together and I'll make them, and that'll be that week's video. I already did that last year for the first time on the channel. It went fairly well. The video didn't get that many views, but the channel's a little larger now, so hopefully it'll get a few more views. And then I do have sort of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? I sort of have like a secret thing on the go. Not a secret thing, a surprise for you guys. I have something lined up. Hopefully it works out. And if it doesn't work out, I'll tell you. If it did, you'll know what it worked out, because you know what it will be. And that will be a separate video, and that will be released later, okay? So I do have a little bit of surprise. Autocorrect primer. To answer your question, I'm on the fence in the snow guy. The piece is a little bit more than I like to spend. So, like I talked about this earlier, I don't know if you were here for the chat. For me, it's $324 US. I'm Canadian. That translates to $500. It's really a lot. Because I'm not a premium member. Are you a premium member? Because if you're not a premium member, they give you free shipping, but they throw on this surcharge of $30. So really it becomes $355 American, and that $355 American roughly translates to 550 Canadian dollars, which I am not prepared to spend on a snowcat. I don't actually even know if there'd be any GIJoe classified vehicle that I would spend that much money on. I can't really think of one right this second. I don't know. So that's really expensive. Anyway, so like right now, I'm not gonna back it. I mean, unless maybe I came into a ton of money or something like that, like I sold my Devastator and that's $300. Maybe I would think about backing it. But see, I don't know about you guys out in internet land. I have this thing called a wife, and then she would not be happy if I spent 500 Canadian dollars on the snowcat, and for good reason. Like that's like half a vacation or whatever. So it's really expensive. And like I said, like when I talked about it in my earlier part of the stream, I'm really not super happy with the offering, so it's just not worth it for me. But A lot of people out there are backing it. They're getting 2 or 3. More power to them. There's nothing wrong with it. Like something I didn't mention earlier, I personally also don't know if it needs electronics. I think that becomes overkill. And while I'm sure the electronics don't add a ton of money to the cost of it, you never know. Like, it still had to be developed. It still had to be put in there and designed. So, anyways, that's just my opinion. Yeah, you have a wife too, so you know what it's like, right, Primer? Like, I mean, I don't know. Actually, maybe your wife collects toys as well. I'm not really sure. I'm not trying to speak for you or your wife. But, you know, sometimes, you know, the wives can be, you know, a little picky about, like, what we spend our money on. Like, do we really need to spend it on action figures as an adult? So I'm just saying, it's a thing. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with that, but it is a thing. Anyways, my wife's pretty good with it, but yeah. So, you know what? Let's go. I'm looking at the poll here. I'm just going to end the poll. I don't know what that does. Oh, it puts it here. I asked you guys which one were you most excited for. So I think it seems it was pretty much a tie for Predaking and Defensor, hey? So 4 people voted. I appreciate the votes and the interactions. Yeah, I think that's fairly standard. I think that is what we're gonna get, either Predaking or Defensor. If I think Defensor is maybe more the logical choice. If I wanted to choose one for myself, I really enjoy Predaking. He's always been one of my favorite combiners. I'm trying to think. Oh, just quickly. So I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes because it is almost 1 o'clock. But before I go, I always like to show, you know, some things that I've picked up or whatever, or I got recently. And usually I have stuff because I'm really bad at putting stuff away. I usually have stuff just here on my desk, and I'm just seeing what's here today. And anyways, okay. So first up, we have this. It is my Raven. Where's the thing? My Raven from Mask. So, this funny thing. I am a frugal person when it comes to collecting my toys and stuff like that. And so, oh look, she's a toy collector as well. But she keeps us on budget. Yeah, it's always the budget. I know, there's always a budget. We don't have that to spend on the budget. Yeah, I understand what budgets are like too. Anyways, so this Raven from Mask. I do enjoy Mask, and it's kind of one of my side hustles that I do because I just have a lot of GIJoe, a lot of Transformers, so sometimes I find it hard to buy things because I have a lot of it. So I started to get Mask or whatever. Now, obviously, this is not complete. It's missing both of its wings. It's both of its doors or whatever. Can we get that on the screen there? Where am I? I'm not looking at the right one. That's the live. We need OBS. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. So, sorry. Yeah, anyways. There it is. So, it's pretty cool. In decent condition. I play the long game on everything. I'll get the doors in the next little while or whatever from somebody. It looks pretty cool. I like it. But you know what? You know what I did here? So, I was at the thrift store probably a month ago. And when I go to the thrift store, I look at the toys, I look at the electronics, I look at the comic books, I look at the Blu-rays, not that anyone buys Blu-rays anymore, and I look at the VHS tapes. And nobody wants VHS tapes anymore, but what did I find in the VHS tapes? You know what I'm looking for, right? I want like GIJoe and Transformer VHS tapes, but they're never going to be there because I think somebody works in the back and they collect Transformers and they take all the Transformer stuff, whatever, conspiracy theory much. But what was there but a Street Sharks VHS tape. And I was like, there's people out there that collect Street Sharks. So I picked it up and I traded some guy. I sent it to him. He sent me this. So I think that was a fair trade. I got Street Sharks VHS tape. Cost me $1.99 Canadian. So probably like $1.30 or something like that American. And I got this shell of the Raven from Mask. So I think that's a pretty good pickup. So the other thing I'm doing is... Actually, I'm not doing... I got to open this, actually. I'm going to open this on screen. This thing is like the weirdest thing ever. It gives me the willies, actually. And it is the Insector thing from Insectors? Yeah, Insectors. Is that how you say it? Insectors. Anyways, that thing, the big beast or whatever. So I think what I'm going to do, originally I was going to hold on to that and I was going to trade it locally or whatever. But I think because I kind of want more money to go to TFCon, I've been listing a lot of things locally later because, I mean, obviously there's two methods. I can take everything Transformer I have here, which I'm going to anyways, and bring it to TFCon and try to see if like-minded individual collectors want some of it. But at the same time, I took all of it and put it on Facebook Marketplace because obviously if I could just, who cares who I sell it to? If I can get money, that's more money that I can put towards items I can buy at TFCon. So I put a bunch of stuff on Marketplace and it's moving. And I'm going to put the Insectors guy here on. He gives me the willies. I hate creepy crawly things. He kind of gives me the willies looking at them. So I need to get rid of him. I'm going to put him on Facebook Marketplace and get him sold. Yeah, Mask is cool, but I'm a Transformer fan, GIJoe, and Action Force. Oh, you collect Action Force as well. Hey, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not sure, this is your first time here, right, Primer? I think you said that you just found the channel. I think if I scroll up. No, that was somebody else. Sorry, I apologize. I actually collect Centurions too as well. That's something I'm getting into as well. So Centurions, Mask, GIJoe, and Transformers. The Centurions and the Mask are kind of like a side project. It's all about the GIJoe and the Transformers. I got this here too. Sorry, I got an itchy nose, guys. Sorry, I got an itchy nose. Where's the screen? This guy here. Where am I? The screen's right here. So that is the Minicon Assault Team. It's not complete. You know what's funny? This guy. Oh yes, you're new to the channel. Oh, sorry. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. This guy's a Minicon Assault Team. He's not complete. He's missing a little piece in the front of the helicopter, and he's missing a foot. The funny thing was, sometimes I have this thing. I think I have this saying, if something goes really weird in the universe, I say lazy matrix, because like, what are the chances of stuff happening? Of all the things that could show up at the thrift store last week, there was a piece of this in one of the thrift bags. And I was like, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it because I don't need it or whatever. And I was like, I put mine together the other day and I was like, shoot, I'm missing a foot. I wonder if that one at the thrift store is a foot. And I went back to get it and it wasn't there after it being there for a week. And I'm so mad. Anyway, so I don't think anyone will buy this. I might put this up for super cheap in my TFCon lot. I got to take some pictures. A friend there, he gave me a little bag. So, key tip here. This stream rocks. Thanks, billionaire. Nice name. I appreciate it. If you can, guys, leave a like if you could. So, hot tip for the thrift store. I go to the thrift store multiple times a week, but there's other people who go there all day. And oh man, isn't that how it is? Yeah. I can only go for during my lunchtime because the thrift store is close to my work, or sometimes after work I'll just pop in very quickly and I'm in and out of the thrift store within like 5 to 10 minutes. Other people who, make it their thing, they go to the thrift store for hours upon a day and they sort through everything. So what you do is you make friends with those people. You find like-minded people. I found a friend. I made a friend. He collects toys too. But he doesn't do what I do. So he found me. He bought some Lego the other day, and it came with some. There's a Rattler bomb. There's a run amok weapon, and I think a grapple missile, and there's a Soundwave missile in here too. He found stuff in his Lego, and he gave it to me. and I made friends with him. Now, I've been friends with him for a year. But he finds stuff for me sometimes, and he's like, I'll come and he's like, Sean, I got something cool for you. I got something cool for you. So it really works out. So that's a hot tip. I mean, excuse me. It doesn't always work out, but if you can make friends with like the workers, or you can make friends with other people that go there often, it's worthwhile doing, because it really works out. I don't really have anything else to show you guys. Oh, you know what? This came the other day too. And I don't know if you'll even be able to see this on screen. It's so small. And you know what it is? It is a replacement chrome hand for my Generation 1 Grimlock. I took him out of the case the other day, and I had forgotten that his arm was broken. And the funny thing about that was, so mine in my case, which has been there for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, doesn't have one of these arms. But I've since had other Grimlocks that I've sold to other collectors, and I was like, what? My Grimlock was sitting there without an arm, so I was able to source one from a fellow collector, and so that I have to put him together. I should probably put them together very soon. And that's the thing I love about Generation 1 Transformers, is there's just a screw keeping that in, right? Take the screw out, pop it in, boom, he's fixed, he's good as new. So he's right there. You know what? I'm not going to do it tonight, but I could do that on stream, hey? Probably, yeah. Anyways, let's see what we're doing here. We're doing 1:35 a.m. here in Canada. I don't know where you guys are located. Primer, where are you located? What area of the United States are you in? Billionaire, where are you located in Canada? Give me some idea. Guys, anyone else left in the chat? Give me some ideas where you guys are located in North America, or wherever you're located in the world. I'm just curious where you guys are chilling out, because it's late. And you know what? I super appreciate you guys coming out, because I know this is a late night chat. It's 1:07 a.m. Like, people got to go to work. I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to get up. I got to get out of here, like, get up around 7, get out for 8 or whatever. And it's 1 o'clock. I'm here chatting GIJoe and Transformers with you guys. So North Carolina, hey, I've never been to North Carolina. I'll get there someday. But the thing is, like, it's getting late. So, I think this has been a fairly successful stream. A Billionaire Toronto, hey. Billionaire. I can't remember, sorry, I don't think you mentioned. Are you a Transformer collector, and will you be going to TFCon next weekend? Just let me know in the chat. I think this was a fairly successful stream. Monday has your day off. Well, lucky you. That's why you can stay up. Is it your every Monday is your day off? Because if every Monday is your day off, hopefully I see you back here every week watching the stream. now you're here. Evil King, Seattle, Washington, barely turned 10 p.m. See, that's not fair. That's how time zones work. It's only early there. It's late here. Yeah. Good night, man. Great show. Thank you, Autocorrect Primer. Hopefully I'll see you again. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, Billionaire. Are you going to TFCon? Will you be there? Are you a Transformer collector? Maybe you don't collect Transformers. There's nothing wrong with that if you don't. Maybe you're just here for my awesome shining personality. But I do think this stream was fairly well. I'm not a Transformer fan. Love them. Won't be at TFCon. No problem. You know what? It's funny because back about 5 years ago, I'm not really good with date and time. 5 years ago. Let's just say 5 years ago. It used to be 1 day Transformer convention. The second day was 80s. So it was like GIJoe, any Insector's Mask, anything 80s. And while I do enjoy TFCon, I kind of enjoyed that a bit more because there's a bit more variety of items to buy. Because normally now you get 2 days of Transformer merchandise and it doesn't really fluctuate or change a lot. Where the previous version of it was 1 day full Transformers. The second day was Transformers plus other stuff. I really enjoyed that a bit more just because the variety was a bit better. But you know what, guys? It is 1:09 and I am getting tired. My voice is starting to go. I think I will call it here. Now, you know what's funny? when I say I call it here, last week I totally messed up and I didn't end the stream properly. And I was like, what the hell? I forgot, because I'm new with this, I forgot I have to stop OBS and as well stop YouTube. And last week I only stopped OBS and YouTube continued on just dead ear. So I think they fixed it up at the end when they encoded the video and they took out the extra. But we're going to stop it here. And I really appreciate you guys dropping by. And like always, make sure if you can hit a like, hit a subscribe if you're not subscribed as well. Make sure you watch that HasLab reaction video so you can get in on the giveaway for the GIJoe issue number 1 special missions. And I really do hope you guys come back next week. And I hope you like the channel. I'm having fun doing this. And I'll be back next week. We'll talk TFCon. We'll probably talk some GIJoe stuff too. Don't worry. If you're only into Transformers, we'll talk GIJoe stuff as well. But we're going to end it here. So you have a lovely night. You guys catch some sleep. And we'll see you next week. Okay? Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye. That stopped.